everybody, my name is Markiplier.
Hey guys, Young Father Figure here. Welcome back to a brand new video here on the channel. This is episode 4 of the Homestead series. Alright, if you guys missed it, the last episode in particular, you would have seen we went to some cool villages. So if I open up our map here, we did a lot of exploring. We went from here in our home all the way over here. And then we went all the way over here. And then we went over this way to this village. We got this little chicken hat or a chicken plushie that we have on our head. And we began the process of our farm. So we got a sustainable food source so we don't have to go hunt and kill innocent creatures. We can go the vegan route if we choose. Today's episode, I have a little goal for us. I want to actually, truly begin the construction of our home. Because, think about it. The mod pack is called Homestead. And our home currently, while the outside, you know, it looks pretty cool. You know, we got the whole kind of hobbit hole kind of thing going on right here. But we walk in, it's just an empty stone box. So, we're going to fix that. We're going to actually begin the process of making our home. And I'm really excited. So what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to hollow out most of this stuff here. So I want to begin the process by sort of starting a template before anything else. So I don't want to begin decorating and replacing all the walls and everything with wood until we have an idea of what we want to do. So we know exactly what resources we need, sort of the color palette we're going to choose. What I'm thinking is I want a couple different rooms. One room I want a portal room, so I want to be able to have our own nether portal here in home. Of course, a bedroom, a kitchen. I want a nice living room, so a place where we can like put some furniture down, a couch, a television, you know, who knows. And then a storage room. So we don't just have our chests in the living area or the greeting room. What else? Probably an enchanting room, right? So we can have our enchanting table. I also want a brewing room or some sort of like wine cellar because there is beer in this mod pack. Different types of beer. We can have beer kegs as well as a brew station, I believe is what it's called. Yeah, brewing station. So we can make different beers and stuff there. I want a room where we can do that. We should make like an indoor pool. That would be kind of cool. Of course, that's all things for the future. Right now, we just have this empty husk that we are going to have to mine out and hollow out. So what I'm thinking is I want this to remain, this kind of wall here, which will separate these two things here. So this is going to be a hallway that leads to one area. Then over here, I want this to be, maybe we have our storage room this way. That might be pretty cool. Let's see. Let's try something out here. I'm going to do this. It's going to look kind of weird at first, but trust me, once we begin to add the actual nice, like different designs of like wood and stuff, it's going to all make sense. But I want this to kind of curve in a way, this room here, or this sort of like hallway kind of thing. I want it to look a little different than this one. This one's just a hallway that goes straight back, but I want this one to kind of be almost like it's going in a diagonal direction. So it goes this way, and this one goes that way. I think that's what I want. This right here is 4 blocks wide. So I'm going to carve this so it becomes 4 blocks wide, and then we'll push it back a little bit and then make a room there. This looks decent. We are already about halfway through this pickaxe, which kind of sucks. We are going to need to go get some diamonds and stuff later on. This is an idea I had when I was editing the last video. I don't want this to be just my home here. And then we have to go hunting for a village, or we have to go walk super far to find a village. I want to build like houses all through here, make our own little like city. I think that would be really cool, but of course, that's going to take a lot of resources and a lot of time, so you know, we're just going to have to wait for that. We got a lot of oak logs, not a lot of planks, not a lot of stairs or slabs, which is like the two main things that I'm going to need. I want to make some stone bricks. What would you call this process here? Is it smelting cobblestone or what? Because that doesn't make sense to me. I feel like you smelt ores, not cobblestone. But whatever. Okay. So obviously we got to get this to look like a circle, which is kind of hard in Minecraft. Maybe I should have did it one by one. I've got an idea. What kind of trapdoors are there? Because I feel like this idea I have is going to need a trapdoor. All right, we're going to have to go northwest on a journey for spruce wood. So northwest. Oh, wait, is that spruce wood right there? We might not even have to go that far. Is that spruce wood? This might be spruce wood. Pine. Pine log. Okay. That just took a little while to fall down. Pine logs. So what does a pine trap door look like? Pine, 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 pine. Pine pressure plate, pine slab, pine trap door. That one's not bad, but it does give me oak wood trapdoor vibes, and I don't like that. Okay, there's a spruce tree right here. So this will get us started at least. The pine doesn't look bad. I actually do kind of like the way the pine planks look. Ooh, I actually really like the way those look. Let's get some of these pine logs. We gotta find like a pine forest or something. It looks like these grow in meadows, so. Are these pine saplings? Oh yes. I'm gonna grow all of these. We need to make a tree farm. That's something we need to do. Okay, so this one just decided it wasn't gonna fall. How tall is this tree? It's probably a bad idea to stand on this. Okay, that's the last one. Alright. Good. Good. Finally. Oh yeah, that's gonna be enough. That should be enough. And then I'll make pine planks. I really like the way those look. They look like real floorboards, which is why I think I like them so much. They look like floorboards. Dang, we really did get lucky with this world generation, huh? Because this is everything I love about building a home in Minecraft. I love the way this looks. Oops. I don't love throwing my tools. My idea that I had was going to be something like this. I was going to go like that, like this. Oh, there's iron here. I'll take that. Like this, and then like that. There we go. Oh, twice. Come on. Yeah, because that gives circle vibe, you know? And then let's try this. Maybe we do need some slabs, huh? Just some regular old slabs. Got a couple in here. I'll just go ahead and make some while we're right here. This is how you make slabs. No, that's how you make trapdoors. This is how you make slabs. Yes. Yeah. That looks good to me. I like the way that looks. That doesn't look too bad. But I think for the purpose that we're going for, it should honestly be like that. Yeah, I think that looks better. Alright, so let me knock out all this stuff here. Okay, yeah, that right there, that looks good to me. That I'm happy with. So, boom, boom. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Alright. Should I use wood right there, or should I use stone? That's not what I meant to do. God dang it. I hate how expensive getting stone bricks are, or is. Let's see how that looks. Do we like that? I actually kind of like that. I think it adds a nice little bit of contrast to that way everything just doesn't look like wood, because I feel like everything being wood would eventually drown it out. So I feel like that looks nice. It also makes sense for it to be wood, or for it to be stone. There we go. That looks mighty nice. And then we do kind of the same thing here. Ooh, I don't even know how that's going to work. How are we going to do that? Because I want this idea of like the stairs there, but I want it to be going that way at an angle. Let's try it. I think we'll go like this. How did that end up like that? There we go. Oh my god, how do I keep placing stairs upside down, dude? And then we'll just follow the same pattern. Like that, yeah. There. There. Oh my god, are we gonna do this? We did it! No mistakes. Okay, and then I guess we'll start... should we start here? I guess. Let's start there. Because that ends up in 2. Maybe we should move one over? That doesn't look bad, though. So I'll keep that in mind. Okay, I like the way it looks a little more, but it's not as practical. At least with the windy nature. Maybe we can actually do it like this. We do it like that, so that way it starts out big, and then it becomes the smaller hallway. Okay, maybe that's not bad. We'll try that. This video would probably be a lot shorter if I didn't make as many mistakes. This is looking good so far. Of course, it just needs that little bit of that little spark to really elevate it. Huh. I don't mind how that looks right there. That looks pretty cool. Having it come out a little bit. What about that? No, I don't like that. It kind of takes away the circular look. I do like that though. Okay. This is not looking too bad. This is not looking too bad at all. So now we're gonna... If I did pine here instead, do I like the way that looks? I actually kind of do. I'm going to use pine for the floor, for sure. I think pine for the floor makes the most sense just because of the natural texture of it. It already looks like floorboards. So, pine planks it is for the floor. No, our pickaxe. We need to make another one, I guess. Dang, do we even have... Yeah, we do. We need more iron. We need to go get diamond eventually. Oh yeah, I like how that looks a lot. Oh yeah, we're gonna need to make pine trees ASAP. We're gonna need to make a pine tree farm for sure. Because this is next level. Right here. Absolutely. Let's knock these out. I do like... I don't know if it's actually what I'm hearing or if I'm just losing my mind a little bit. But I like how, as we're placing these blocks, the echo is slowly leaving the cave. Like, there's no more reverberation coming from all the stone. So it's actually feeling, like, it doesn't feel like I'm living in a hole in the wall. It feels like a real home. Dang, this is turning out nice. I'm actually really happy with this. Let me extend this a little bit. I don't know why I use slabs. Okay. Real talk. Why did I use slabs when I could have just used... planks? Why did I use slabs? Oh my gosh. Who knows what goes through my mind. Yeah, these look really nice as floorboards. Really like that. They look pretty good on the ceiling too, if I do say so myself. And I do. Come on. Come on. Just place the stair right the first time, man. Oh, did I run out of... I ran out of stone bricks. I guess we gotta make more. That's unfortunate. I do have 2 in here. See, I knew I had some more. So I can make a total of 52. Alright, for the walls over here, do I want to continue the same pattern? Or, like, with the stairs? Or do I want them to just be flat walls? I'm going to look at a couple pictures of hobbit holes, and I'm going to see really quick. Let me look. What I think I'm going to do, because I was looking at some pictures of Bag End specifically from the Lord of the Rings. And one thing I noticed was that the bottom of the walls have, like, this trim. So, like, a dark wood trim, and then these are sort of like a kind of clay. A clay slash, like, terracotta, almost. It's some sort of, like, plaster. So it's kind of like that, and then the rest of the wall is like, including the ceiling, is like a terracotta almost. I think for now I'll just use oak wood as a placeholder, but I am keeping that in mind because plaster does make sense for this type of build, having a wood plaster or yeah, some sort of like wallpaper. One thing also that I noticed in the pictures is that a lot of the corners are arched. There's like arches in the corners, and they sort of meet in the middle of the ceiling, and they form this cool sort of pattern. I'll probably be putting a picture, future me, put a picture on the screen of what I'm talking about. I wonder how I could recreate that, or if I would even want to recreate that. I think that would be pretty cool to do. It's just that in itself is going to be a challenge all on its own. If I was an experienced builder, I could probably do it pretty easily. But this is honestly the nicest thing I've ever built, and it's just a square and 2 hallways. I'm sure we can. We just gotta have a little faith in ourselves, you know? Alright. Getting close. We're getting close to the closing stages. There we go. Go like that. And then boom. 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 Okay. That's not bad right there. Okay, I think I'll do that in the corners. Right here. I think that'll look pretty cool. So, should I use a different wood for that? There we go. We'll do that. Boom. 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 Okay. Now we're getting somewhere. Now we're getting somewhere, guys. It's getting somewhere for sure. Alright, let's build. Let's finish our bedroom. And then I think it'll be high time to call it an episode. What do you guys think? Ugh. Ugh. Why is this block so wet? I was not a fan of that. Stick. Iron. Make another iron pickaxe. We're just burning through all of our iron pickaxes. Which sucks. But it's a sacrifice that must be made. This is a pretty small room. I think I'll dig out 2 more on both sides here, so. I don't like that, dude. Come on. Let's not start with these noises, dude. Be nice to me. We'll do the same sort of design here. Nothing extravagant. Because that's the thing about being a hobbit, you know, and living in the hobbit holes. Is nothing needs to be extravagant, you know. Hobbits are happy with life as is, you know. All they really care about is good food, beer, pipe weed. Why does this... What block is this that it takes so long to break? And it's the same with everything. Even my hand is the same amount of time. It's such an odd block. Ugh. Don't like how wet it is. First time I've ever said that. Bam, 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 bam. No, wrong block. Gotta be kidding me, dude. Doot, 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 doot. Boom. 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 And I'll, let's see. Boop. Boop, 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 boop. Oh, we're getting close to running out. Pine planks. We can finally take our bed from inside the living room. We'll put our bed right here. Right in the corner. Perfect. And it's sleeping time. Day 16. We are on day 16? Wow, it really does not feel like we're day 16. I'm actually really, really happy with this. It took an entire episode to do that. Alright, guys. I think that this was a pretty successful episode. We didn't do much in terms of the outside, you know, going exploring, adventuring, but this was much needed. Like I said, the mod pack's called Homestead, so having our actual home look more like a home is a very welcome thing, in my opinion. yeah, I think we did a good job, guys. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Leave a comment on what you want to see in the next video. And yeah, guys, as I always say, peace out.